Imagine a man who's gentle to a fault, honest to the point of self sabotage, who's thrown into this world where cruelty is currency and sincerity is the mark of a fool. This is Prince Myshkin, the protagonist of Dostoevsky's novel The Idiot, which asks the unnerving question: can pure goodness survive in a society that's built on power, deception, and self interest? Myshkin is crafted as an experiment. Dostoevsky throws this Christ like character of Myshkin into 19th century Russian society. In this world of selfish desire, Myshkin's compassion is seen as weakness. The novel opens with Myshkin returning to Russia after years spent in a Swiss sanatorium. On his journey, he meets his friend and rival, Parfyan Rogozin, who's a passionate and dangerous man. Through Rogozin, he's introduced to Nastasia Filiponova, who's a beautiful woman who, while scorned by society, is desired by all and loved by none. Mishkin arrives into our cast of characters and inherits a fortune, disrupting this social order that's been crafted. Tension arises in Mishkin as he compels the proud and stunning Aglaia, yet remains drawn to Nastasia. Mishkin is torn between these two women and desperately tries to save them both. However, it's made clear that salvation is not so easy. Through Mishkin's eyes, we are given insight into the power dynamics of the society. Foundational things like love and suffering are not felt and appreciated, but performed as means of obtaining social leverage. This makes Mishkin a threat. His raw and unfiltered nature is a reminder of everything that those around him could be, but have abandoned in self preservation. Yet, Mishkin is not blameless. His unassuming tendencies are a form of blindness. He sees people not as they are, but how he wants them to be. He loves destructively and pities recklessly, and in the end, his purity saves no one, not even himself. As the novel reaches its climax, Mishkin and Nastasia are set to be married. All of a sudden, Rogozin bursts in, disrupting the festivities, and Nastasia ends up running off with him. Mishkin searches the city, trying to find the two, when he ultimately finds Rogozin in an abandoned building. He walks in, and there's a cold scene. Natasia's lifeless body lays on the floor, covered in a sheet. This realization causes Mishkin to fall into a catatonic state, and all he does is sit silently beside Rogozin. Mishkin, again portraying this Christ like figure, is only able to consider the pain of Rogozin in the situation. He strokes his head like a child, providing an image of a quiet mercy, a forgiveness without conditions, and a love without expectation. Rogozin, who's a man of passion and violence, receives Mishkin's last act of compassion. When a doctor arrives to the scene, he takes one look at the broken prince and says, "Ah, the idiot." Rogozin is pinned in a contrast to Mishkin. Where Mishkin embodies compassion, Rogozin blazes with passion without restraint. While Mishkin sees the broken pieces of Nastasia and loves her for them, Rogozin consumes her, obsesses over her, and wishes to possess her completely. In the end, he murders her, not out of anger, but out of possessiveness, desiring to make her totally his. He and Mishkin are two halves of a shattered ideal, and Nastasia finds herself caught in between, unable to escape. In the novel, there's a painting that Mishkin obsesses over. This painting is The Body of the Dead Christ in the Tomb by Hans Holbein. The painting demonstrates the thrashed, lifeless body of Christ after his crucifixion, not portrayed as a triumphant divine figure, but as a battered, broken, and cold human. Mishkin parallels this through his tragic story as his Christ like innocence is beaten down to the point of insanity. The final scene is just like the painting, demonstrating how the world makes ugly of that which is good. Now, I know I've painted quite the dark picture of the novel. However, maybe the message is more hopeful. Throughout the book, Mishkin is quoted saying, "Beauty will save the world." See, it's important to note that Mishkin had once before been at the sanatorium. It is likely that events kin to the events of the story have caused this insanity in Mishkin before. Perhaps what Dostoevsky is trying to say is that while the world will destroy that which is good, the beauty will continue to prevail. Now, being a Christian, Dostoevsky perhaps uses the painting to show that, regardless of Mishkin mirroring the broken Christ, they shall both rise again. and their goodness and compassion shall return. Perhaps Dostoevsky truly is saying that maybe, just maybe, beauty will save the world. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me put more effort into my content. And as always, thank you for daring to know. I'm Nathaniel Dillon, and I'll see you next time.